Hey everybody, welcome back or welcome to our channel if you're new here. My name's Katie and I'm here to make you question everything that you've ever been taught. Today I want to talk about a few like social experiments and a few conspiracy theories that aren't very popular and I don't think very many people have heard of, but they're still really great nonetheless, and I wanted to bring them to your attention. Now, as always, I do have my 2-year-old running around in this living room with me, and my daughter, my 9-year-old, got a new little puppy. Right? He's cute and adorable, but he likes to chew everything. So if he knocks over my stand, I apologize in advance. Before we start this video, let me go ahead and say that this was strictly made for entertainment purposes only. Nothing is factual. It's 100% our opinion. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and say that I'm an actress and I'm practicing my movie lines. Hopefully that's good enough. Now let's get into it. So there is a theory that says that if you celebrate any holidays that you are participating in Satanism, if I can say that. Satanism? I don't know if I can say that. But you're participating in dark practices and you're celebrating the 7 deadly sins that said not to participate in the Bible. Apparently every holiday represents one of the 7 deadly sins, and we're going to go over that right now and break it down and explain to you what I mean. Valentine's Day, supposedly, allegedly, according to this theory, would represent the sin of lust. Right? Because that's all Valentine's Day is about. Whether you're married or not, or in a relationship for a long time or not, everybody celebrates Valentine's Day, right? So that's supposed to be celebrating the sin of lust. Thanksgiving would celebrate the sin of gluttony, right? Because you're overeating or eating in excess, right? You're eating way more than you ever would need. So that's gluttony. Christmas celebrates the sin of greed, right? Because we want everything. We give everything to our children even. Way more than they would ever need, right? Again, it's just in excess. It's way more than you would ever need. So Christmas is greed. Plus, Christmas isn't even about getting presents, but yet that's what they've turned it into. Easter would supposedly celebrate the sin of envy, right? Because the Romans were jealous of Jesus or Yahuwah or Yahweh or whatever you want to call him. They were jealous of him and his capabilities and his power to bring everybody together and unite people. So they unalived him, right? So that represents envy. Easter is envy. St. Patrick's Day represents sloth because, I guess you guys, or I bet some of you could guess this, everybody gets blacked out drunk, right? Shocker. Halloween celebrates the sin of wrath because everyone is focused on scaring and hurting people for fun, right? i.e. haunted houses or anything that you do around Halloween time. That's the whole motive and point behind it, is to scare people for fun. So, sin of wrath. Sorry for the banging. My son's playing with his truck. Nothing I can do. I'm not going to take away his toys to record a video, so I'll try and reduce the noise as much as I can. Sorry. Eventually, I'll have like my own room to record these videos in, and you won't have to deal with this background noise for much longer, I promise. Independence Day celebrates the sin of pride because you're not supposed to pledge allegiance to anyone other than God. Yet, we pledge allegiance to the flag almost every day when you go to public school. Thankfully, I mean, they don't really have them do that anymore, but when we were younger going to school, you would stand up every day, put your hand on your heart, stand, face the flag, and pledge allegiance to it. And now we pledge allegiance every year on the 4th of July. So that is pride. Independence Day is pride. So there are your 7 deadly sins represented in holidays. I don't know, how true that is for everybody, but it hit me pretty deep when I heard that, because I had also heard a gentleman online who said that he went and talked to his family and told them that we would have enough money to like buy a nice house and, get everything that we need, but we have to stop celebrating the holidays, because what happens is you start to save money and then turn around and now it's a holiday, turn around, there's a birthday, it's always something, right? And that's another like suspicion or conspiracy theory behind these holidays, is that they strategically place them throughout the year to keep us broke, keep us in debt, which is not far-fetched at all. So this gentleman told his family that if we stop celebrating birthdays and holidays for like 5 to 10 years, we'll be able to, afford everything that we want. And the family agreed. They said, yeah, we would rather, have a nice house and a nice car and, live comfortably than celebrate these holidays every couple months. So he, instead of buying Christmas gifts and birthday presents and Halloween costumes and all this crap that you have to get, he saved that money. Anytime he was going to buy something for a gift or a holiday, he would put it in a jar, put it in a jar, put it in a jar. And eventually, after I think it was like 5 years, he had enough money to buy like a badass, nice ass house for him and his family to live in. And they all have nice cars and like they're not struggling for money anymore because they cut out the government holidays. And you know what's crazy is most people don't even know why we celebrate these holidays. It's just like because we do it, bro. We've been doing it. Duh, don't you know? Didn't you have it done when you were a kid? Let me explain to you how dangerous that can be. Just following the group and just, because we do, right? I don't need an explanation. It's just because we do. All right, let me scoot over so I can give you, I'm going to pull a diagram up on screen over here. So there's an experiment. I'm not exactly sure the name of the experiment. Sorry, kids and dogs by the stand. I'm not exactly certain on the exact name of this experiment, but it's basically like the 5 monkeys and the banana experiment. If you look it up, you'll find it, okay? So they had these 5 monkeys in captivity, and they put a ladder in the cage, and on top of the ladder was bananas hanging from the top of the cage, and you could climb the ladder to get to the bananas, right? Of course, the monkeys started going after the bananas. As soon as one monkey would climb the ladder, the rest of the monkeys in the cage would get sprayed with water, okay? And it got to the point where these other monkeys would attack the one monkey who was going up for the bananas because they didn't want to get sprayed with water anymore. So they're like, bro, stop climbing the ladder, stop going after the bananas, okay? And then eventually, none of the monkeys in the cage, all 5 monkeys, stopped climbing the ladder. They stopped going for the bananas. So then the scientists took out one of the monkeys and he put a new monkey in, okay? The new monkey instantly tried to climb the ladder and go after the bananas. The other 4 monkeys beat the crap out of the monkey because they don't want to get sprayed. Sorry, puppy pooped on my floor and the baby was trying to play in it. So I had to pause and clean that up real quick. Anyways, let me get back to my story. So the new monkey climbed the ladder and instantly the other 4 monkeys like beat him up and they were like, nope, you ain't going after that banana. We don't want to get sprayed. So then after a couple beatings on this new monkey, they brought in a second new monkey, okay? And he instantly went for the ladder to get the bananas, okay? And all the other monkeys beat on him and said, no, we don't want to get sprayed. Stop going for that. Even the new monkey beat on him, even though he didn't know why. He couldn't go up the ladder. He still joined the group, right? So they continued this process until all the monkeys in the cage were brand new monkeys. None of them had ever been sprayed with water, right? Yet they continued to not go up the ladder and get the bananas. They continued as a group to not go up there. But if you were to ask those monkeys, why don't you go up there and get the bananas? They'd be like, I don't know, just because I do it. That's just what happens. Something to think about, right? Just because that's what we do doesn't mean that there's a good reason for doing that. Okay, let me give you another example of this. Family was cooking a ham or a turkey for Thanksgiving, right? And they would always cut the like butt or like back end off of the turkey because that's just what they did, right? They would always cut it in half and put it in there. And the daughter asked the mom, why do you cut that turkey in half? Why are you doing that? Or ham or whatever it was. And the mom says, that's just what my mom did. That's just how we do it, okay? So the daughter calls up the grandmother and says, Grandma, why do you cut the chicken in half or the turkey in half? Why is that a thing? Why do we do that, right? You know what the grandma told her? Honey, because in the 60s or 50s, when I used to make turkeys, our oven wasn't big enough to fit the whole turkey in. So now, 2 decades later, or 2 generations later, whatever, they are still in this family cutting this turkey in half or the back end off of it before they cook it. Not knowing that they don't have to, and there's no real good reason for that. I learned it from my mom. I learned it from my mom. I learned it from my mom. Yeah, your mom did it because she couldn't fit the whole thing in the oven. So maybe, just maybe, some of these traditions and holidays and things that we hold on to and hold so dearly to our hearts and we don't even know why, maybe there's not a really good explanation for it. Maybe there's not a really good reason at all. I don't know. Just a thought. Just a thought. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is if you want to break a cycle in your family or you want to stop celebrating these holidays to do better and provide for you and your family, don't feel bad for doing that, right? Because majority of us don't even know why we celebrate them. I'm just saying. Another thing that I wanted to point out to you, or I wanted to talk about. Do you guys know how every house, obviously, whether you live in the city or a farm or in a neighborhood or, anywhere, right? You have a front yard and a backyard. You just have grass, okay? Do you know where that grass came from or where it originated from and why we have grass? Because if you don't know where it came from, when I tell you this, your mind is going to be blown and you're going to be like, no way that's real, Katie. I'm telling you it's real. Look it up. Let me tell you. Okay, so back in the day, like way back in the day, nobody used to have grass in their front or backyard, right? Grass was a sign of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like money, like you were wealthy, you were well off. If you had grass in their front and backyard, that was a way to signify to your neighbors, I'm wealthier than you are. Kind of like how back in the day, the lighter your skin was, the more money you were considered to have, right? Because the wealthy people didn't go outside, right? Anyways, so apparently, in like the amount of space that you have in your front yard and in your backyard is enough. If you were to grow crops on it, it is enough land and enough room to fully sustain and feed a house and a family of 4 to 5 people. If you were to just grow on your front yard and your backyard in the city, you wouldn't even need a farm, just your city lot, right? They make them big enough so that you, back in the day, could support your family based on your land that you owned, okay? Then some wealthy person along the way decided, I don't need to grow crops in my yard because I'm so wealthy I can afford to buy food from the grocery store. Fucking people, I can't. Anyways, so they stopped laying seeds and dirt and like planting in their yard, and they laid sod down and planted grass. Like, I don't need to grow food here. I can buy my food. That's how wealthy I am, right? And then somewhere along the way, it just changed and everybody got grass, right? Because everybody wants to feel as wealthy as your neighbors. If everybody on your street has grass and you're the only one growing food, you don't want to like stand out as the poor one around, right? Back in the day anyway. So everybody planted grass, and now everybody has grass. And now in some cities, it's against the frickin' city ordinance to even grow a garden up to a certain size, when really that's what your yard was for originally, was for you to feed you and your family. Tell me that's not the craziest thing you ever heard. I think it's nuts. I think it's so crazy. Like, how do we not know this? Why are they not teaching us this, right? I don't know. Just nuts. I had to share that with you guys. If you guys have anything to add to this video, if you have any other, like, did you know facts about America, I would love to hear them, because I think this stuff is so interesting. Like, the real reason behind why we do things and where that came from, right? That is just like crazy interesting to me. So if you guys have any other stories of your own or anything you would like to add to this video, please comment it down below in the comment section. I love to read your guys' comments. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks again for hanging out with me. It is a pleasure as always. I really appreciate you guys and your time. Please make sure that you smash that like button. And if you're not already subscribed to our channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell icon so you get notified whenever I upload videos just like this. All right. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.